Good morning. It is Thursday, January 2015. UPBOptionMillionaires.com. Stock futures are up 0.8%. Are we starting to see that V bottom? You look at the bottom we had in the middle of December. We rallied into year's end and we started to pull back really the last two trading sessions of 2014, then three consecutive down days in 2015 before recovering on Wednesday, yesterday. Tuesday, really, we hit our bottom, but Wednesday we started to put in a nice, beautiful candle reversal. We'll see if we can continue. The overnight session was pretty mundane, save for the dovish Fed speak that helped ramp stock futures after the close. We hit our highs recently in the overnight session and have been pulling back a little bit, but I'm pretty sure that we're going to get back to this level and higher, especially if this is indeed another V-bottom. These V-bottoms, it's like Pavlov's dog. You have a couple V-bottoms and then everybody catches on, and these V-bottoms become more and more dramatic. Look at the last one we had in the middle of December. Are we going to see a similar one? I mean, if we get even a more dramatic move, we could hit new record highs by tomorrow for the market. I do think for the S&P 500, we're going to get back to that wick high that we saw back late last year. We came up to about the 212.97 level. I think that's where we're headed. If this V-bottom is indeed coming to fruition, you can see each dip along the way has put in these beautiful V-bottoms. Everybody's talking about it. And JB wrote a piece, you know what? The more people talk about the V-bottoms, at some point they're just going to stop happening. It is a new year, so that's something to keep in mind. And we have oil falling to pieces, although it bounced yesterday. And I think it's putting in some sort of a constructive bottom here, at least in the short term. It broke below the long-term support line here at 22.50. Then it dropped below 20. I think a move back up to 20 is likely in the cards. XLE as well has been pulling back. Oil is helping to drag down energy stocks. It is up this morning, but to me, it's just in a really nasty downtrend. And I think the lower prices for oil is going to affect energy, and you can see this support has been broken at about the 79 level, and we have long-term trend line support broken. So this chart still looks exceedingly bearish to me. The fact that it just maybe will come back up and kiss this level before pulling back and make it even more bearish. So XLE I think is going to head to about 60 this year. Or even further than that, we'll see. But right now, you know, just play with the momentum in the market. Momentum is a recovery in shares. NASDAQ QQQ beautifully hit this long-term support line back in the tech wreck of April 2014. I was talking about this broadening descending wedge, a breakout pattern. It was in the 80s. It came up over 90, up to 100, pulled back, and now this is acting as support here for the NASDAQ QQQ. Let's look at Google. Downgraded today. Has been an absolute tailspin. The 509 level had been acting as support. It's broken below that. You know, I love this stock in 2015. Stifle, I like to say that. Just like Baidu back 2 years ago, this exact same time was in this bearish channel breaking down. Citigroup came out, wrote a long piece on how the growth was done. Baidu is just not going to be a high flyer anymore. And at that point, I looked at the chart. I said, I think the exact opposite is going to happen. This is when it was trading in the low 80s and dropped down below 80 briefly. And look what happened ever since. Baidu has just been on a tear. Google, I'm not saying the same or similar thing is going to happen, but I do think this stock is not going away, and I don't think it's going to collapse. But we'll see what happens. Just mark today, January 2015, downgraded. Analysts not thinking it's going, and look, it's down 0.5%. I mean, if you looked at trading action for Google the last couple trading sessions, especially yesterday, the market's rallying significantly, and Google was just getting pounded. Certainly did not bode well. It seemed like something was rotting underneath. So let's move to some other charts here. Wynn Resorts, really strong support at the 137.50 level. This is a stock that looks like it's going to break out. I talked about this one at the end of last year. I think it's going to head back up to the 190 area. This is the long-term channel support and resistance line. You can see it kissed it back in November before tumbling down to the 137.50 level. Again, hitting support. Now I think it's going to come back up to that line. If you want to take a little cheaper one, you look MGM 2080. It's up 1.8% to start the session. It's about 10 minutes before the market's going to open, so it's a pre-market trade. I think MGM's going to head back up to the 2350 level. You can do Las Vegas Sands. Similar thing here, bouncing off support. I think 60 bucks is where I'll trade it for. Coors, I like this one for a move up to at least fill this gap short term, and then possibly up to the $80 level. You can see there's some support resistance here. 82.50, you can get above that. GMCR upgraded this morning. It's up 2%. Wow, it's about to come down to hit the bottom of this channel. Now it looks like it's going to hit the top side of it, be about 160. Let's look at Apple, which is up 2% the last couple trading sessions. You can see this trend line is acted, once it broke above it, is acted as support here, and I think it's going to move back up to the 112 and 115 level in the short term. Price line has been breaking down. JB and the Option Millionaires chat room been talking about this one, got into the 1075 puts at $1, put them in the private Twitter account. Those are going to be worth over 16 bucks. Yesterday they hit 20 bucks, and Priceline looks poised to take out the former support level here. If you draw a trend line across, it breaks that. We're down to about 1025 in a hurry. FEYE continues to be a head turner, a head spinner, up, down, up, down. But if you just pull up a monthly chart. I'm just going to put a 10-year just for, but look at this. It's been kind of confined in a narrow range, and I expect it at some point to break up to this $45 level. Twitter as well has been hanging at support. You can see even if you just pull up a monthly chart, this $35 level has acted as support. This week spiked almost to $39.50, almost 40 bucks, and that's what I'm looking for short term. If it breaks this level, I think we're going to head up, fill this gap here, up to 50 bucks. I love this stock. In 2015, all right, UPB here. One last chart, VXX, which we've seen throughout these spikes to the downside for the stock market. The VXX has rallied, but each of these rallies have been great selling opportunities. Buy some puts. It was a big put trade a couple days ago for the $15 strike in January 2017, I believe. So each of these rips to the upside for the VXX has ultimately, over the long term, yeah, hasn't worked out so well. All right, UPBOptionMillionaires.com. I'll see you in the chat room. Remember, having a great trading session. We'll see if Google can recover some of its early session losses. Again, just it's like a weight tied around its neck, just like Priceline, FEYE, Twitter, Facebook, all to watch this morning. I'll see you in the chat room. Everyone have a great trading session. Goodbye.